Created and designed by Marco Gross. Produced by Universal Industries. The fate of our world lies in your hands. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start now.
Be careful. I think the test subject is waking up. Welcome back to life. You were on ice, in a deep sleep for 50 years.
Don't worry, we'll wear them. Get some more rest. We need to go to decontamination, and then we'll talk to the general. Did you see anything? There are some crazy things in the new world. We are doing a live broadcast. The general has been retired since last year, but he takes care of the USC affairs in cooperation with Cryotech.
Incoming transmission.
How fascinating is that? We deciphered the binding protein of the 0X virus and are making progress.
General, he has no idea about anything.
What do you mean by that?
This here is Test Person 1 from Cryotech Industries.
Damn, it's 2020. Who would have thought that we would be able to defrost frozen dead people in such a short time? Ha! And even alive. Everything is finally going well this year. Well, how do you feel, son? Is everything okay?
General, it will probably take a few days before he can speak again. The cognitive ability has to rehabilitate itself.
Yes, I understand. Damn, I hope this is not some narrow-minded boy sitting in front of me. I actually wanted to put them on a job.
General, with due respect, that's too early. He should get used to the new world first. This man here comes from the 80s.
Lord in heaven, you don't even know what a smartphone is. Oh, I'll say that. Okay, give him some food and...
These damn dark wolves were rioting outside the city again, as if we don't have enough problems.
You say something. So, where was I? Oh yes, exactly. A backpack with provisions for the gentleman here, and then each set off to know his great new world. For you, a short time travel and the creation of our situation. Short version, virus bomb, all gone. To be precise, we had the Asian flu back in 1957. Did you notice that?
Yes, General. After his death due to the flu, he was put into cryostasis.
Oh, so it got them. Well, they didn't realize that another virus called 0X was spreading unnoticed. By focusing on the Asian flu, the 0X pandemic wiped out 60% of humanity. And all of this in only 1 year.
The new virus was not discovered until mid-1958. It has not yet been decoded, and the origin is only being speculated about. Its genome is completely unknown to us and contradicts our biological laws. Perhaps it is not from our planet, hence the name 0X. It is the most dangerous virus that has ever existed. It reacts to its environment by mutating within seconds. It responds to all the substances that we introduce into it with a defensive reaction. You'd think this thing was an intelligent life form. There are millions of different forms of 0X, as new ones are created every day. Even if we were to decode it completely, we would have no chance of finding a vaccine, because any human being can carry a mutated virus. We would need an individual vaccine for each and every one. That is why scientists are not looking for decoding or understanding of the virus. They are focusing on a possible symbiosis. It should become part of the biological network and fulfill a function. Of course, it should only be a placebo for the 0X. Currently, the virus does the following. It sneezes into the brain and waits for the cells in the host to die. It feeds on those dead cells and begins to mutate. Afterward, it gains mental and motor control. This means that it only becomes active when necrosis occurs in the body. Unfortunately, this can also simply be a burn or a bite or a bruise. Fortunately, apoptosis is excluded, but occasionally Alzheimer's disease has been reported to activate the virus. In summary, it means that when a person dies, reaches old age, or suffers a massive injury, the virus comes back to life and takes control. The cognitive ability is 0. Only its primal instincts, such as eating and pack behavior, are present. The shopper. When you run into this nice lady, she certainly does not want to go shopping with you. The bitch is damn biting. Their work colleagues couldn't even stand them, so don't start a conversation with the workaholic. As soon as you hear a scream from the fast prisoner, you should run and lock themselves in. This form of mutation makes him exceptionally agile and fast sprinting, and he can smell you from 500 meters. And if at any time you hear scratching on a concrete floor, a fat lunatic sneaks around. It is not for nothing that they were kept behind closed facilities back then. Never mess with this body fat mountain on your own. The smart soldier. That's the name we give to the most intelligent mutants. They can operate a firearm, so do not come near them. Okay, but now you probably want to know why the fallout happened.
May 1958, the political relationship of all the great powers escalated to a furnace. Each tried to blame the other for the 0X. In no time at all, 45 million undead human eaters were roaming the streets. When popular uprisings were no longer tolerated, governments cracked down hard, resulting in thousands of civilian casualties around the world. Even in Europe, the civilian population armed itself. Governments were completely or partially overthrown and lost their authority. Since the virus spread first in the metropolises, they chose the last resort and used nuclear explosions with the goal of being able to contain the remaining infected in a more controlled way. All the metropolises of the world were left in ruins. A radioactive fog contaminated continent after continent, almost all inhabitants. The overthrown governments were then concentrated on non-radioactive parts of the country and built new cities there. That we are so advanced in the 21st century, despite all the fallout in the 50s. It's a miracle. I mean, hey, you came back from the dead. The economy and research have focused intensely on technologies to fight the mutant hordes. Meanwhile, many of us are living in the outlands, like in the Stone Age.
General, if I may interrupt you briefly. Another subject was successfully taken out of cryo, a former criminal. Why he was thawed, I don't know. Probably they want to use his experiences.
Are there others who could join us in our cause?
Yes, General. We have 4 people in deep sleep in the cryo. One is the Sleeping Beauty, Yuna Sakura. Yuna is 28 years old. She fought for a Japanese clan in the United States in 1992, which led to the Civil War in Old York City. She was seriously injured and put on ice before she died. At the request of her clan, of course. Her clan no longer exists, so we can assume that she will work for us. Amy Clark, a freedom fighter who joined rebels. She does not come from cryo, but is a true child of modern times. At 22 years of age, she is the youngest and most experienced in the fight against mutants. She likes to use light classical weapons. She lost her arm in close combat. Too much tissue was at risk of dying off, so amputation was opted for. Biggie Gross, a woman from the 60s who knows where to go. She did not stand behind the stove, but completed training of the International Military Guard in Germany and specialized in ranged weapons. In 1967, she was kidnapped by the old American Secret Service, tortured, and then frozen alive. The files also show that the Secret Service had agreements with Cryotech that required Biggie to be handed over to the Secret Service. Via a social media campaign in 2019, freedom fighters gathered in front of Cryotech to hand over Biggie's body. The USE agreed with both parties that Biggie would be listed as one of the first subjects for resurrection. She is already a media star. Joel Vincent, 62 years of primary rock from Old Paris, born in 1911 and therefore full of life experience. His mother died at birth and his father was an alcoholic. He found his family in the biker brotherhood, where he made a name for himself. Around 1973, he was to be executed for murder. During the transfer from the state prison, the van suddenly disappeared and disappeared forever. Suddenly, Joel Vincent was found at Cryotech Industries. Nobody knows how and why he got there. John Nerd. His nickname, Nerd, was apparently given to him due to his addiction to binary codes, hacking systems without getting caught. In June 1985, he was caught trying to hack the international bank system. He discovered digital safe deposit boxes with contents of a Mexican card. After hearing shots in his apartment, he was taken to Cryotech Industries. Why is it that nobody knows about this today? It is assumed that his skills will be required again. A cheeky but polite lad at the age of 18. The Viking. His exact age is not known. However, he should be about 980 years old now. His body was found in Greenland after the fallout in the 60s, locked under a 26-meter ice cover. The man, probably a Viking from Denmark, was completely preserved and conserved for the past 1,000 years. It must have been a shock to be suddenly illuminated by magic LEDs. He does not speak words and only makes sounds, but he is fun to be with, especially when hunting mutants. We think he loves heavy weapons.
Thank you, Lieutenant, for the information. Hopefully we will soon have capable soldiers there. And hey, listen, don't go straight to it. It's a hell of a dangerous world out there. You should get some target training somewhere. And one more good advice. Visit the Survivor Phoenix camp. They probably have some jobs for you. This way, they make a positive contribution to the world. And do not get involved with the damn dark wolves. Dismissed.
Come on, I will accompany you outside.
Oh yeah, and welcome to the United States of Earth.
When you walk across the Asian market, see if someone makes you something to eat. You look hungry after a half a century. You must take care of yourself. Good luck.
I'm trying channel 673. Does anyone hear me? Hello? Anybody out there? We're hearing from the U.S. that another conflict has broken out. The Dark Wolves will attack the USC base today with heavy artillery. As if that wasn't enough, there's fucking hordes of mutants attacking us all the time. Very bad situation. I really hope that my message to the USC will arrive on time. I can't tell when exactly the Dark Wolves will strike.
Help with the reconstruction of the new world. The United States of the Earth needs you now. Choose which path you will take. Find a home in the camp of Survivor Phoenix. Help your fellow humans. Get supplies, fill jobs, and defend the camp. And damn it, find the truth about the end of the world. Prove yourself in the Dark Wolves camp. Experience looting and smuggling.
Heute Abend gibt's Wildgulasch. Ha!
Take it from the poor and give it to the rich. Elimination is always an option.
I hope you brought your coat and gas mask. The weather seems as if acid rain and radioactive storms will happen again. Okay, I'll try again on channel 558. Does anyone hear me now? Damn it, is anybody...
Whichever way you go, try to survive. Experience a great story. Immerse yourself in a new analog gaming experience. Be part of a new game universe.
Welcome to Worlds of Universe. Your multi-genre board game and tabletop in a post-apocalyptic world.
Let the dream come true. Follow us on Facebook so you don't miss the big start of the crowdfunding campaign.
Welcome, WOU Communiverse. Tell your own game story or create your own text adventure. worldsofuniverse.com.
Take care of yourself and stay healthy.